No need. Alrighty. I think we are going. At least the lights have come on. But I don't hear myself yet. I'm going to assume that I am on. Good evening, and Yuva Uota. Welcome to the part where Truck goes over what we did today. There's still more. I should mention that part of the reason why I'm alone here this evening is because I made the mistake of thinking that this wrap-up came between the upcoming music compo and the rave. And everyone should, after the dance music compo, you should go up and go dance at the rave. I'm going to mention that a couple times because it's going to be fun. We again have raves this year. It's big. It's important. But the reason why I'm here is that I had arranged for there to be some folks here with me, and then, oh crap, I need to be on the air right now. And the person that I actually pegged for helping me out with the fast music compo, she had to go home. So it's going to be Truck, and I'm going to try to not ramble. And people that know me know how difficult that is. So I have my list of things that we've gone through today, and we're going to try and do this. All right. So first of all, I should apologize. I did miss a couple of the music compos because I was on a jury for one of the music compos, and as a result, I didn't hear them live. But one of the great things about the music compos, not just at Assembly, but at any place, is that they're one of the things that you can actually listen to at work, listen to when you're going back and forth to work, listen to, at various times when you're coding, whatever you're doing. I do listen to these things. I go back, and it isn't just SceneSat or Nectarine or Kohina that I'm listening to. I'm actually making my own playlists, and sometimes I have put together shows on SceneSat of the music. I may do that this year to go, since I did miss these compos, just to go over them and have reactions to them live. But those of you who did listen, I do hope that you have voted. One of the other great things about this is that the live voting system is working really well. I've been at some places where it didn't work quite so well. And props to T101 for getting that and Partyman working so well. It's really been a joy to use and doing the live voting. But let's move on to compos that I did see. No, let's not go to the real wild first. Let's just go and look here. The first, we may as well start at the top of the list. Freestyle Graphics. Freestyle Graphics, it's really difficult to compete in the Freestyle Graphics category because there are so many people that are producing great pictures. And just, every single one of these that was in the compo has something extraordinary about it. And I will put these in my rotation of the background pictures. I may actually have to speed my rotation up. I have 3 monitors. Okay, that's a lie. One of my workspaces has 3 monitors. One of my workspaces has 2 monitors, and the third workstation has 2 monitors. So I have way too many monitors and way too many computers, and I use them quite often to do things. So these pictures will be things that I'll be looking at for the next year. I hope that other folks will do that as well. Just go through these pictures, look at them again, maybe before the end of before the voting time ends. I'm not actually sure when the voting time ends for this, but I think it's sometime tomorrow. I could actually look at the schedule here in just a little bit. I don't know that I want to highlight any of them. All of these pictures were amazing. Okay, I will highlight one. I will mention seeing a C64 picture or a C64 styled picture in the freestyle compo was okay, yes, 40 years, which I don't know how. 40 years of the Commodore 64. So it makes sense that we would have a picture that was C64 style. But I mean, seeing that on the huge screen, and for those of you watching on stream, you don't know how big this screen is. It is astounding how big this screen is. On that note, there is a compo that lets us use the huge screen. That compo was supposed to be tonight. It's had to be moved. Partially, every time that I'm talking to somebody and I said, oh, sorry that that you didn't compete in this particular compo. Oh, that's okay. We have an entry. Oh, you have a demo? Yeah, it's in the wide compo. I don't know how many wide entries there are, but I understand that there's going to be several. So I'm very much looking forward to that tomorrow. I also know that there's a very interesting technical reason why it's been delayed till tomorrow. I'm not going to say what it is, but it is an interesting technical reason, and it'll come out later. And I'm going to be the reason I'm not mentioning it now is I'm interested in finding out what the solution to it is. So, yeah, Freestyle Graphics, just an amazing compo again this year. If you missed it, go look at the pictures and go to scene.assembly.org, put in your vote key, and look at the pictures and download them and zoom in on them. It's worth it. These are good pictures. All of them are excellent quality. And all of them just, again, I can't wait to put them into my rotation. All right, moving on, the photo compo. I was talking with some folks about the photo compo as it was going on. There are no joke pictures in this. All right. One of the pictures that I really, really like because of it's so themed was perhaps a little bit of a joke, and that's the karaoke and the haunted karaoke thing. Loved the way that was framed. Maybe not the best picture, but I love the way that it was framed and the way that it does what it said on the tin. But yeah, no joke pictures, because there just isn't room for them. There's tons of really interesting pictures, and a lot of them are also kind of trying to be Beanie and doing the things Beanie has been doing in many previous years, and making either a high-speed capture or framing a still frame of either water droplets or something in that area that requires extremely good use of framing and a high-speed camera and knowing how to get a good picture. Loads of those different types. And then I was not expecting the perfect drop, which is a picture of drops of water on flowers in the summer. I wasn't expecting that to be water on flowers. I was expecting that to be a high-speed capture of a water droplet. I'm glad it wasn't, because this is an astounding picture as well. Every single one of these pictures is something. The Ascension picture, looking at that, I was like, this looks rendered, but I know it's not rendered because it's a photo. And now, okay, now we have photos that look like renders. Could we please play with my brain a little bit more? Okay, that's a little too much seventh son of a seventh son, but still. Loved Haze, Sleeping Giant, yeah. I loved every single picture. It's very difficult for me to vote, but I already did, and that's another reason why I love that we can vote for these live, and I don't have to go back and do it, because then I get my actual reaction, and I feel that's, for me, that's a little more well, then I don't overthink it, which is something I can very easily do. Before we go on to short film or the other things, I think at that point during this evening, we then went to the shader showdown. Now, I will say, folks, the shader showdown things are fun, and it would be a lot of more fun if more people were doing it. As Exka said, it's a great community. You know, you get in there and you can get help. I know Evil, one of the guys that that streams stuff and has been streaming for a long time. He has explained to me in detail exactly how he sets everything up. When Rimina streams, she explains in detail. And of course, for those of you who, you know, speak Finnish or understand Finnish better than you do English, she speaks Finnish, she is Finnish, she can explain it to you in Finnish as well, something that I can't do yet. And, you know, all of the streamers from Flopin, when Visu does things, Visu, you saw, he's doing more 2D. You don't have to do this 3D ray marching. There are ways of doing other bits. Go back, watch not just the ones that took place at assembly, but the ones that are at revision, the ones that are at outline, the ones that are at Nova, the ones that PS has done as part of Inertia. And I think he also had one for the Pancake Party. We have people from all over the world that are doing these things. Obviously, I mean, Provad competed remotely. I'd love to see more folks doing this, and when we have it next year, I'd love to see 8 or 16 people, because it's fun to watch, and you can see how the things progress. And then there is a site that Gasman has put up. It's associated with DemoZoo. I wish I could remember the name. But you can go and you can look at all of the code for these. And then you can run them yourself in Bonzomatic. And if you don't understand, you can ask somebody like Exka or Rimina or Evil or Flopin or any of the folks who are size coders, and they're willing to help because they would like some competition as well, and they find it fun to do this. Now, some of you may be saying, well, the truck, but you're not doing it. Actually, looking at Exka's thing, one of the things that I really liked about it was seeing the way that he put it through procedurally. And I saw how it was developed. And I was thinking, you know, it's 25 minutes each time. If I just do this 25 minutes at a time after I get used to the Bonzomatic tool, you know, this could be something that I use to de-stress. So yes, I'm going to try. I'm not saying I'm going to compete, because my stress level and me competing could mean upset truck, and we don't want that. I don't want that. But I am going to try doing it. So, all right, maybe if enough people tell me, truck, we want to see you live stream it, maybe I'll actually try that. I don't know. All right, and the 4 folks that competed, we saw 4 different shaders, 4 different programs that were created in 25 minutes. Everyone was different. You had the 2D from, you know, very colorful psychedelic thing, which is very Vishu. Loved that. You have Provods, which to me was kind of like, okay, this is the formation of the Earth, and then changing every little bit. And I loved the way that he was playing at the end there with the colors and changing that a little bit. And you could also see with his, how he built it up from the 2D thing that he was doing, how he was using the music. Also, fantastic set. They mentioned that you can go and you can get his music on SoundCloud, and I wish I could remember his name right now. Fantastic set. Download his stuff as well. That is just great set. I hope we have him again for tomorrow's final, and I hope we have him again next year for the Shader Showdown. great set. And then X, as I mentioned, you could see the way that his globe spaceship dodecahedron thing, how it evolved and then how he expanded it and contracted it. It was really cool to see. And yeah, I don't know if it was a statement about the Ukraine or not, but it was cool to see that color scheme. And then Rimina showing an excellent use of how to use glow. And also, I just love kaleidoscopes. I mean, loved every single one of them. I hope everybody else had fun. I know that the folks doing that had fun, and I know it's going to be fun to watch tomorrow. I hope everybody is ready for that. It's gonna be it's gonna be an excellent final. It's gonna be Provad versus Rimina tomorrow in the final. All right, now let's move on to a little bit later. Well, okay, short film might have been there, might have been earlier. Only 4 entries, but 4 good entries. I'm not going to mention, you know, I'm a sucker for Animal Crossing. It was interesting seeing the in-game thing. Also, another competition, the in-game photo compo. That's really cool. And I've seen other, I know there's a website that does a weekly competition or a daily thing where people submit their in-game screenshots. That's a really cool thing. And I mean, everybody can do that while you're playing a game. If you actually end up with some picturesque scene or just something that's really cool, there's your entry. They're really interesting stuff. And to expand that into, you know, the short film, that was pretty cool. Not sure that I want to see too many more of them. I mean, I love Animal Crossing. I don't know that I really want to see a lot more Animal Crossing things, especially since, well, to be honest, the game of Animal Crossing, when you invite your friends over, that is what that video was. But maybe I can actually explain to people now what Animal Crossing is about by showing them that film. Also, in Nintendo, if you know, you should use that as a promotional piece. Vacation. I'm sorry, I have never seen a short film that is more of a Poshy Rebels demo ever before. That was the Poshy of Rebels makes demos that look like that vacation thing. And also the music was almost Teo. It wasn't Teo of Rebels, but that was a very, I was looking at it and saying, this is a Rebels demo. It's just pre-rendered. This is really interesting. Also, I would be interested in knowing what it would take to move that from the video and to create it as a demo. It's an interesting idea. Ultimate Restore. Yeah, I'm going to be a sucker for a thing about using a Commodore 64 to restore the Earth. And I also loved the part that the third part was erase all the idiots from, you know, all the idiot mistakes. I really liked the film. I'm going to mention a thing that was mentioned in Lynn's demo scene channel. Somebody said, I thought pot was illegal in Finland. So people who were outside that were watching the stream really also enjoyed that one. 4 great short films. Let's move on to another competition. If I sound like I'm rushing, we do have to get through this before the music compo. And as everybody knows, I can talk a lot. So and I have a lot more to say about a couple more of these competitions. So if I sound like I'm rushing, I apologize, but I am. All right, so voting, competition. We did for short film. Wait a minute. Are we actually now up to the point where I talk about the old school demos? All right, maybe I don't have to rush anymore, but I am going to talk about the old school demos because it's the old school competition. And yes, there were sadly not enough Amiga competitions for the Amiga competition to be separate. I'm partially to blame. I haven't been able to touch my Amigas for an entire year. This makes me sad because using my Amigas makes me happy. But thanks to Chucky and to Yope, I'm going to be able to use my 1200 with the 060, and I'm looking forward to that. There are numerous things that have happened with the Amiga, with the Pi Storm in the past year that I'm looking forward to playing with. So hopefully, I can actually complete an Amiga demo very soon, maybe for next year. But we did have an awful lot of C64 stuff, and I just love seeing C64 stuff on the huge screen. That was a joy. Actually, everything was a joy. I didn't go over Real Wild. I'll go over Real Wild after this. Somebody in the audience remind me. So, Pixeled Years. First production. I am going to go to Tampere, to the museum that is featuring these, because C64 art is, it's a special type of 8-bit art. There's criticism of the C64's palette for being very muddy. Then again, if you've played Quake, I don't know how you can say that the C64 palette is muddy, but it is a interesting palette. Maybe not as interesting as the MSX1. That's a challenging palette to try and do pictures with. But if you've ever pixeled on a C64 or on a Spectrum or on an MSX, there are certain limitations that you have to deal with. Not just the number of colors on the screen, but also the number of colors you can fit into a particular area unless you do programming tricks. And, well, when I go to the museum, I'm going to see the programming trick things, but I'm also going to see the original screen modes. And some of the guys here in Finland, like, I mean, okay, a lot of them are in Extend, but the way that they can pixel and the way that they draw is just, well, it's just joyful. I know I've used that word a lot, or just the word joy, but that's what it is. And I can't wait to go to the, well, I can because it isn't open yet, but I am going to go to Tampere and see that. And I probably will not be combining that with my trip to Zoo. The Zoo party invite was later, but I should just take a whole day and just go to and look at that and visit Tampere. The second was an entry we had was a invite on C64 for the Instancy party. Sometimes people complain a little bit. Hey, why are all these invites at parties? Why don't you just have other demos? What? Well, because an invite at a party is a great way of telling people that are in the community, hey, you're invited. And Instancy, I haven't made it there. Truthfully, the last time I meant to go there, but I ended up with 2 lung infections, not COVID, thank goodness. But you know, you don't go to a party when you're feeling sick. So I missed Instancy the last time. I hopefully will make this next time. I hope everybody goes, because it's a great party, and there have been some really good releases, and they're really cool people that are done there. And I mean, who pulled off a, let's see, it was called a satellite. Who pulled off the satellite thing in Finland? The folks from Instancy. So, also I got greeted, so, yeah, you know, all right, I'm a sucker for that. But that was a really cool invite. Maybe not the best in the competition, but I don't think it was supposed to be. It was supposed to be an invite. And that's another thing you do with invites. You don't make the invite the thing to win the party. You make the invite to say, come to our party and bring your best thing and compete and have fun. Trainspotting. I love the GBA. The Game Boy Advance it's a fun platform to code for. It's a lot like an Amiga, and it doesn't get enough love. And I'm glad to see that Ananas Murska made this production. May seem simple, but you know, if you're not used to coding on a particular platform, start small and work up. I hope to see more Game Boy Advance things. I know various people, if you don't know anything about coding a Game Boy Advance and you actually have one and you want to code for it, I know folks, and you can get a hold of me if you don't know anybody that can help you get started with it. It really is a great platform, not just for demos, but also for games. There is a homebrew community out there, and it's a fun platform. Then 1982, and again, 40 years, don't know how. I don't know how either we've had 40 years of the C64 or 30 years of assembly. It doesn't seem that long. Okay, if you look in the mirror truck, you'll notice that it's been a while, but I mean, 40 years, that's a long time. And as mentioned in this demo, the C64 community is still vibrant and producing more things every year, possibly than any other small computer or 8-bit computer or even PCs. That was a cool demo as well. Then the invite for Zoo. Another thing I've noticed about every one of these productions is a lot of them have mentioned how big the executable is, and a lot of these are really small, so you could actually maybe say they're intros. The invite to Zoo is only 16K. That's pretty darn cool. Also, I really like that it was green screen also. Green screen CRTs, excellent. I'm going to watch the Zoo invite several more times. And yes, I am going to make it to Zoo this year. I will do that. It's in a new location. If you're interested in the C64, come to Zoo. Also, everybody who is outside of Finland that is in the C64 community, yes, obviously, come to Zoo. It's a great party. We do welcome you here in Finland. The Xenon, if I'm not mistaken, that's the only Amiga entry. It was really cool to see the wireframes on the huge screen. That made me happy. Maybe not the most extreme. I mean, if you compare it to, say, Aeon or other Amiga demos that have come out this year, the one from Hoffman at Revision, maybe not that quality, but it was good to see an Amiga production on the big screen, a huge screen. It's not big, it's huge. Again, you'd have no idea if you're not here how huge that thing is. It's just massive. The problem about talking about Pusse by De Jormas is I could talk about this demo for a good day. And I think most people know how much I really like the original 242. So of course I'm going to be a sucker for a C64 version of it. But you did it proper. You included the beginning and I mean the whole thing. Also, it's one disc side. This is a proper release. This is if you're gonna do a remake, this is how you do it. Also, no more remakes of Bad Apple. Stop it. Also, STNCC. No, stop it. Do your own thing. If you want to have fun doing it, that's fine. Go ahead. Just don't release it at a party. It's enough already. Also, I don't want to see a bunch more 242s. Just this is the best one, other than the original. Just Veisi Lintu. First of all, does what it says on the tin. I mean, it's a water bird, and it's a wonder swan. Decadence will help you if you want to know how to code for the Wonder Swan. It's a really interesting platform. And I need to not buy one because I'm not buying any more hardware for a while. But it's a really cool platform, and it was really cool to see it. I know that you said it was compo filler, bright light, but come on. With that music, that was excellent release. And then Porridge. First of all, I love the pun. Secondly, it's actually a really good DOS production, especially for a Pentium 133. The pictures were great. It's Heidelme at it's a Heidelme demo. They're fun. I've always liked Heidelme demos, and this is another that, I don't know how I'm going to play it because I actually don't have a Pentium 133. I'm going to have to emulate that. I do have a 486, but it won't run that, and I'm not modifying it for that. All right. Real Wild. Sometimes the Real Wild competition turns into, or it used to turn into, who can play a movie through the strangest hardware? And we didn't have that this year, and I'm happy about that. Although playing movies through strange hardware is neat, it's still playing a movie. Gee, is Truck going to segue into No More Bad Apple again? No. But I am going to say, it's cool that we had 3 real productions in this. I would have liked to see more, but I always want to see more. And having 3 is cool enough, especially considering that we've had this break of years where we haven't been able to meet together. And, some of us got out of the routine, or this, like I said yesterday, this feels right, but it also feels a bit odd. So I'm looking forward to, next year. And hopefully we don't have any more. Something just happened somebody shot somebody or something. Hopefully we don't have any more outbreaks and we can continue to have these things. I will say though, everybody, please be safe, and don't do anything, that would harm others or harm yourself. We do want to see you back at these things. And we want to see your productions, and we want to see you having fun. Take care of yourselves. So of these 3 productions, we have Sunrise Glow. The second this goes up, I know what it's a remake of. I am going to criticize this for one thing. You did not include the words "Ding Dong Man, Ding Dong." That should have been in the scroll text, and you know why. This is an old Thrust demo remake, and it was really cool to see it. And yes, it's compo filler, and yes, originally this guy, I was just going to mess around with the tracker, but it turned into a production. TIC 80 and Pico 8 are great little things to play around with, to do prototyping with, and to have fun. I recommend both of them, and the TIC 80 community is really interesting and really fun to be part of. And hi to everybody in the TIC 80 community that's watching on the stream, which I know a couple of them are. And then the next, an Apple Keynote demo. That I'm good with. Making a demo in something that isn't supposed to play demos is always cool. Also, the widescreen joke was excellent. And finally, Kerava, all the jokes in it were excellent. I don't own this hardware. I wish I did now, because I'm not buying any more hardware right now. But this is an ARM board from Hard Kernel, and also this is only 75K. Mad props. I want to buy this hardware so that I can run it. I'm not going to. I hope you release this code and it's relatively easy to port, and somebody actually does a port other than me, because I need to work on the Amiga stuff. We don't have much time before we have another compo. And so I'm going to wrap up. There is, I think it's the dance music. Yes, dance music compo is next. And after the dance music compo, which, if everybody gets up and dances during the dance music compo, I think that's fine too. But after the dance music compo, there is the rave, and everybody can go dance at that. So it's time to put your dancing shoes on, or, just, if you've already got them on, just start dancing. Time to hear a lot of good dance music and just have a lot of fun dancing. Maybe take a break from shooting people. I'm going to wrap it up now. I hope you've had a good day here at Assembly. I hope you had fun. Those of you on the stream, you've got a bunch more stuff to watch tonight, and there's a bunch more stuff coming up tomorrow. Looking forward to that. We'll see you all in just a few minutes, but I'll see you tomorrow. And I promise to have some actual people here to have a conversation with. You don't have to listen to just me tomorrow. Thank you. Hyvää iltaa. Hyvää uutta.